Hi everybody, today I'm gonna share with you the only mineral that lowers insulin resistance pretty quick in your body. Insulin resistance is really complicated thing and become very common with this generation for so many reasons, but let's leave it for now. Now we need to understand exactly what is insulin resistance. When we look at the big picture and what we are really facing as a whole, we are really dealing with an inability to get a fuel into the cells. It's simply like that. Insulin resistance means that glucose cannot get into a cell, so the cells are improperly fueled. So today we're gonna explain exactly how this mineral gonna help us to lower insulin resistance. I mean the mechanism, and besides that, and what type of this mineral we should use, which is the better absorption. So if you couldn't get it as a supplement, how you gonna get it in your food, and I'm gonna recommend 4 or 5 types of food that are really rich in this mineral, and thereby you can get your daily intake out of your food. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Now let's get into the details. So the mineral we are talking about today is magnesium. Magnesium is an essential nutrient. It's very important for your body and brain. It helps to regulate blood sugar. Among its many benefits, magnesium deficiency, it is often seen in people with diabetes. A deficiency can occur with type 1 and type 2 diabetes, but appear to be more prevalent with type 2 diabetes. And this is because the low level of magnesium are associated with insulin resistance. So this is a problem on multiple levels. For one, you are inadequately fueled, and that is gonna cause problems. It is going to eventually lead to metabolic issue and significant weight gain if it left out of control, and insulin resistance will trigger more fat to accumulate. Now I am not here to tell you that magnesium is a magic bullet for this, but it's a one break in the wall of all of these things that we need to pay attention to. And when we look at overall observational studies, in addition to the mechanistic action of magnesium with insulin, it is pretty clear that we have a magnesium issue here and need to be addressed. So there is a study that was published in the journal Nutrient that took a look at 234 people with metabolic syndrome, and 4 times per year they measure their magnesium intake and also what is called HOMO-IR. HOMO-IR is the lagging indicator of insulin resistance. It's basically giving them a number of how insulin resistant is this person and how high has insulin been circulating through the bloodstream. But what they found here is that those in the highest quartile of magnesium consumption ended up having a 71% reduction in developing an elevated insulin resistance level compared to the lowest quartile. Simply, those that consumed more magnesium were at significantly 71% less risk of developing insulin resistance. But that is not enough data. Let's look at some more. There is a study published in Diabetic Care that looked at 4,497 people that found a very similar thing when they looking at 20 years following up. The study measured people's magnesium intake alongside a couple of other things like C-reactive protein and some other stuff, and the following up 20 years later they found there was an inverse correlation between magnesium intake and inflammation. Their C-reactive protein level were usually lower when magnesium was higher, and their level of insulin resistance were lower. When their magnesium was higher, they also ended up having a 47% less chance of developing type 2 diabetes when their magnesium was at the highest level. Okay, well, correlation does not always equal causation, but still the data is pretty strong, especially in large human number like this. But for me, I could look at observational studies all day, but I always find the potential flaws. So I always like mechanistic study overlaid with that. I always like to understand why, and there is a plenty of data pointing to why. So magnesium deficiencies can affect various channels. Okay, you have to remember first that magnesium is electrical. So when we are deficient in magnesium, that means that we might have too much calcium. Calcium and magnesium work together to excite and relax, and this can affect the electrical channel that allow insulin to be released from the pancreas. Inside the pancreas, you have what are called pancreatic beta cells, and these are the primary insulin producers. Well, these insulin producers cells rely on two very important things to do their job properly. One, they need to receive chemical signal from glucose or from the sugar. When we consume carbohydrates, glucose is the chemical messenger here. Remember that. The chemical signal that signals pancreatic beta cells to do something else, like start to secrete insulin. The next important pathway that is very critical is the electrical signals. And this electrical signal is called the KATP channel. And if you have an insufficient level of magnesium, that channel doesn't open and close properly. So basically the function of beta cells become limited in an electrical fashion. So you are disturbing the electrical signal out of the beta cells, thereby inhibiting how much overall insulin it can release. I think by now the whole picture is clear, and if it is not, just leave a comment and we will discuss it later. And now let's have a look at how to get magnesium. There are two ways to get magnesium: as a supplement or from your food. Magnesium supplements aren't created equal. Different types are better for certain elements and have a different absorption rate. Taking magnesium supplement, however, can increase your magnesium blood level and improve diabetes control, and possibly prevent type 2 diabetes. There are various types of magnesium. There are magnesium glycinate, magnesium oxide, magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride, carbonate, citrate, lactate, glyconate, aspartate. According to the National Institute of Health, some studies have found that magnesium aspartate and citrate, lactate, and chloride has a better absorption rate when they compare it to magnesium oxide and sulfate. And they also report that when people with poorly controlled diabetes were given 1,000 milligrams of magnesium oxide per day in a clinic trial, they showed improvements in glycemic control after 30 days. And now let's see what type of foods that are very rich in magnesium. And number one in our list is sesame seeds. 100 grams of sesame seeds contain 351 of magnesium, which is great. And number two in our list is chia seed. Chia seeds contain 335 of magnesium. And number three, almond. 100 grams of almond contain about 270 milligrams of magnesium. And number four on our list is cashews. 100 grams of cashews contain 292 of magnesium. And largest food in magnesium is dark chocolate or cacao. 100 grams of dark chocolate contain 228 grams of magnesium. So if you need your perfect dessert by the end of the day, to get your daily intake of magnesium every day, 2 spoons of yogurt, spread some sesame seeds with chia seeds in some berries or some blueberries or strawberries, and chop some nuts like almonds or cashews, and by that you already get more than your daily intake of magnesium. So I hope you guys enjoy and gain value from watching this video, and if you do, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit this bell button for more. We want to keep making informative research based video for you. Thanks for watching, and hopefully seeing you in the next one.